what's up, everybody? Welcome to the UN and our we're gonna talk about Ahsoka. So I am trying to be as enthusiastic about this as possible, but so how are you doing there, Elton?
I'm doing
Sorry.
fine, Siobhan. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
Children of all ages.
children of all ages.
All right. Well, let's get this started. To run the little there we go. So professional, so professional. And my dude, I am hold on, I am like my light is basically blowing me out.
It's new, right? Is it
No,
new?
it's all right. Nah, well, what it
Oh,
is it's
it looks brighter.
yeah, it is. It's because I reset my computer, and so you know how when you reset stuff and you forget to go back and redo things here and there.
Oh, right.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, it's we have the greatest show on earth right now. All
You
right.
know it.
Okay. Okay. So Ahsoka episode 6. What are your first thoughts?
What are my first thoughts? Okay.
Yeah. And
Uh,
if you can put it into a sentence.
sure. I thought they found Ezra very easily. Sabine was very fortunate
Yeah.
to follow those. What were they, the Noti people or whatever they're called? How convenient. Very nice of them too.
The little crusty the crab folks.
Yes. Very lucky that they were around and they let her right to the place where he was.
Hey, coinky ding. They only got two
Coincidence.
3 episodes left. Oh yeah.
And he seemed to be doing good too. I thought it would be like a little bruised up. He seems to be enjoying life.
No. No. That so you're thinking about something that would be good writing. This is not that. All right. So for me, my one sentence view of this particular episode is Dave Filoni cannot write.
Please elaborate.
No, it is much too much coincidence. He loves his own created characters way too much. He has no idea how Thrawn as a character should work, and he doesn't know how space works. And he doesn't know that you need if you want somebody to be a threat, you have to show that. All right.
Oh yeah.
Man, I
I think
keep
that's a I think that's a trend of other lately with
yeah,
other superhero movies. They are not a
yes.
threat. Yeah.
It is a trend of people who are currently marching on a picket line right now. I'll leave it at that.
You said it.
Uh, Infinity War came on TV today, right? So
Okay.
you had to build up for Thanos, right? So
Mhm.
Thanos comes on the screen. He's torturing Thor and all that fun stuff. And Loki gets up and he asks for the Tesseract. So Loki has it, and so Loki has a plan in his head. So it's like we got a Hulk, right?
Mhm.
So you expecting it like so if you're a fan, you know how the Hulk is. You don't really know how Thanos is in terms of how powerful he is. You see like little glimpses here and there, that kind of thing, right? You see that
Right.
everybody is terrified of him, but you have no idea why. Now this is the first what 10 minutes or so of the show, I mean, of the movie. The Hulk attacks him. They get into a fight. His acolytes are going to intervene, but one of them goes, "Let him have his fun." Right. So then he proceeds to beat the holy hell out of the Hulk without even the effort. He took all the hits, he did all that stuff, and just
Yeah.
dismantled him, and was about to kill him until the whole guy whisked off, and then the rest of the movie started. You showed in that little 10 minutes he's imposing, he's stronger than Thor. He easily took out the Hulk. This dude is something to worry about, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's called good writing. Just like in One Piece, right? In One Piece,
Okay.
every
Yeah.
character, every character, their intro, they get introduced. You get to know them as adults. You
Right.
find out their backstory through relatively short, um, like little clips. It's not long, but it gets right to the point, and you understand why they do,
Why their
for the most part, what they do.
motivations. Yeah, their
Right?
motivations and why they do the things that they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave Filoni does not know how to do that. Not at all. Not even like, not even a little bit. And I keep hearing about him from all these people who are fans of Clone Wars and Rebels and blah blah blah. It's like I don't see it. So uh, I've watched enough of his stuff. It's just not for me. I don't get it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That kinda I know you
So
have,
did that.
a limited experience in watching it, but
Mm-hmm.
was is Thrawn in this series and the Ahsoka series, is he written the same as he was in Clone Wars?
From what I've heard, no,
No. Oh, okay.
no.
Alright.
From what I've seen a little bit. I saw a little bit of the cartoon, but I've listened to other people who've watched it who
Mhm.
have a probably as much or probably more because they read the books and all that other stuff. So they have
Oh,
a
better
inkling of who his character is, right?
right.
And no,
I see.
no, he doesn't. No, Dave Filoni has no idea about this character. He is playing him off kind of as a boogeyman. Although there
Right.
is a scene somebody was showing the other day where he was training and he was those war bots that they have, the Imperial war bots.
Oh, mhm.
Yeah, so he was training against two of those. This was supposedly 10 years before the guy that shows up in this episode, right? So it's like about 10 years, right? So he was training, he was in shape, all this other stuff. So that was close to what Thrawn was, although Thrawn is imposing physically and but he's more known for his way.
Intellectual.
Yes.
Oh,
Be-
okay.
All right. Keep in mind that the Empire is very xenophobic, right? So next to
Okay.
a Grand Moff, they're about like what and what. Well, a Grand Admiral and a Grand Moff are probably like what and what in terms of power, right?
Okay.
So it's a right, yeah. So
You
in order for
really
him to get to the position that he got to, he
yeah.
had to be really good.
Okay.
All right, so let's get started with this particular lovely episode. All righty, Lucasfilm.
Ooh, I like the name of the encoder that you got it from. This episode.
I'm not. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm. Yeah. Uh. Yeah. I guess they're talking about me. I guess. Oh well. All right. So the episode starts. Ahsoka and dude,
Hu
I
Yang.
cannot remember it. Hu Yang is having this conversation. It's super boring. Like really, like really dull.
I
Did you
forgot
get
what they
much
were
out of
talking
this?
about, and I was watching it this afternoon.
Because the reason for that is because it's inconsequential.
Yeah.
Is it
Right.
right? So Dave Filoni decides they're on a field trip. So it's a kind of conversation you would have on a field trip,
Oh, there you go.
right? Well, you just not really talking about anything.
Right.
And then this was in order for like they go first. He was like, "You want me to tell you a story?" He's like, "No, I don't want to hear a story."
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
said,
Now I
"You
remember.
sure?" It's like, "No, I don't want to hear a story."
That he said in a
So she
galaxy
decided later,
far, far
right?
away.
Hey, yeah, it's just like I want to hear a story. So this is when they put in it's the member berry. Don't you remember that this is here, and this is when he starts with the in a galaxy far, far away, and like a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So at that point, you're supposed to go, yeah. He said the thing. That's what you're supposed to do.
Right? Did you do that? I did not.
I did not do that. I'm like, this is okay. Well, like, why would you? You're the galaxy that's far, far away. What are you talking about? Earth? Is he telling a story about Earth?
That is
Oh,
true.
maybe he is.
I think we were supposed to get that response, but I didn't do that.
Oh, you wasn't excited?
Not particularly.
Okay, so Sabine, yeah, it just is. This is just more unnecessary stuff. She's captive. Hey, he didn't keep his promise. I mean, the guy who killed an entire ship full of people didn't keep his promise to you. I'm shocked. Look at me. I'm shocked and I'm stunned. I am blown away by the fact that this dude did that.
Yeah, I don't know if people actually thought he would hold up his end of the deal.
Right, but he kind of did, but kind
He
of
kind of
didn't.
did, yeah.
Yeah, right. So it's like, all right, like whatever. So they have again inconsequential. It doesn't do anything for the story because right after this, he goes over to this particular thing. Yada yada yada. He's basically states that he is going to let. So that whole exchange was unnecessary. All it was is hey, she's in captivity. Like,
Yes,
okay,
thank you for telling us what we can see.
right. So unnecessary. So again, blah blah blah. She is starting to have doubts, I guess, about what I don't know. I don't even know if they're evil. I mean, they kill people, so that can be like you can either go the way where he has a plan in mind and he's willing to do whatever it takes to make that plan go ahead. All right.
Okay, yeah. That's a good way of looking at it.
But right. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's like
Evil.
evil,
Yeah.
like Emperor Palpatine evil. And I'm trying to remember if this is where they had the conversation about the wheel, how this group is in charge and everything's all messed up. And then this group is in charge and everything is messed up. And it just goes back and forth, back and forth. And he's trying to break the wheel. Like, okay, and then what? What? Are you going to be in charge? So what's the difference between you being? I'm quite sure Emperor Palpatine, it's in his heart of heart, thought he was doing it. He might have been evil, but it's like the galaxy would be better off under my control, kind of thing. So basically, everyone is the hero in their own story, right? Okay. So we show up to we come out of hyperspace. We show up to the planet. The rings around the planet, and see if it'll actually show it to me. The rings around the planet are the bones of the space whales.
Oh, right, yeah. I thought that was interesting.
Yes, visually very interesting.
Yeah. That's kind of a frightening thought too.
Well, I mean, it's like, all right, so when they die, do they die far? Do they know to die far enough on a planet so that their bones can create a ring around the planet? So they're like the first one who died. The other ones came back and noticed that he was drifting around the planet in a circular motion. Was that what it was? And then the other one was like, so the other ones who were about to die was like, you know what? That's kind of cool. So I'm gonna die like right next to him. Right. So I'm gonna die next to him so that I can drift around the planet. And eventually everybody just kept doing that. So now
I think that's what that lady was saying that that Morgan lady.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
she was saying like, "Oh yeah, it's like a graveyard for them," and then that's what
Mm-hmm.
creates the
Right.
like the
That's,
opening to the other galaxies.
yeah. So they come here in order to die. Which okay, I'm like, sure, okay.
That is true.
Uh
Like, how would they know where to go, and why do they do that? I guess they just do it just because. I
I
don't.
don't know.
That is never explained.
It's like, right. I'm like, Dave. The reason why there's rings around planets is because of asteroids, and it takes a long, like, how long have these things been out there? I mean, was there already a ring around? Because I'm trying to remember. Did they? Was there a ring all the way, like rocks or something? Trying to see if there were there rocks around there. So maybe they just laid amongst the rocks. Do you see any rocks? I don't see any rocks.
No.
All right, because I'm like, if there was rocks, then I say, okay, then they died amongst the rocks. So this is just bones. What the hell? You're like, all right, whatever. I think
That's a
I'm being a little anal about this.
that's a tough way to go out.
So they wind up going. They take off from the ship. They land on the planet. The three sisters are chilling on the planet. Right. So again, this is another one of my. This is my issues with this thing is more to do with the actual like story elements than anything. Uh, I don't know how long these two separate groups, like this group and this and her group, have been separated. So if it's more than if it's 1,000, 2,000, like it'd be very difficult for them to communicate with each other. Now they do say that they're in community, communication, like I guess telepathy or dreams or something like that.
Dreams,
I'm not
dreams.
sure how that works. Right.
Right.
So it's strange dreams. They have the little meeting. Where's Thrawn? Oh, he's coming. Blah blah blah. Why they look like this and she looks normal? Don't know. Never explained.
You just have to take
they,
it. I was wondering that same question.
they just look like that. Like, okay. So if they separated enough to have that much of a difference in appearance, there is no way in hell they should be able to easily communicate with each other. But all right, whatever. We're
I was thinking about
Sabine.
that too.
Yeah, so they smell the Jedi on her. Are they implying that she is a Jedi, or that she just has a Ahsoka's stench on her, which is kind of weird to say. So they use their little balls to bring her to her another cell. So they took her out of one cell to bring her to another cell because reasons. All right, so this is when all right. So I remember this is when they have that conversation about the circle, about the this
about
group goes in charge and then this group's in charge and back and
about the Jedi.
forth and back and forth and back and forth. So what did you think about that?
Oh, yeah, I could kind of see he's, kind of trying to be like the hero in his own right. That's how I felt like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
Yeah, very.
he's not necessarily, siding with whatever these the witches are doing, and then
Mm-hmm.
I think he still has something left for like the Jedi. He's
Okay.
Yeah, he's not like totally deserted them.
All right. So he'd be more into the anti-hero
There you
aspect.
go. There you go. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So she seemed concerned a bit about how she's having doubts about what he's doing. I was like, which is a very common trope that's used in a lot of things. Right. Nobody really understands the plan except for the person who has the plan.
Yeah.
All right. So depending on how long he has had her, um, you would figure he would explain his plan at least a little bit, so she can understand why he's doing the stuff that he's doing.
And it seems like she
But
has no clue.
right, so
Yeah.
she has no clue, and I have no clue. More talking. So we're 12 minutes into what is about a 33-minute ish show, and it's talking. Nothing is happening. Nothing of any consequence is happening. This conversation could be of consequence, but it doesn't really lead to anything. But like, all right, they're still talking, trying to show her thing. They're doing the thing again where she's trying to use the force, and something external is happening that supposed to make you go, is she or is she not using the force? We all know that she does not have the force. So I don't know why they keep doing that. It's a
I
lot
think
of stuff. Go ahead.
I think they're trying to write her in as like, force sensitive. I don't know if she can like actually wield or use the force, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe she has some inkling or, you know,
Okay.
kind of like half-assed it, I guess.
Okay. So there in the extended universe, there is another character that everyone loves that is very limited in the force. All right. That's Mara Jade. So
Mm,
she worked for Darth Vader as an assassin. He trained her for what uh she could do, but it's not a lot. But she was able to use it to her it's like to her advantage during situations when she had to fulfill any missions for Darth Vader.
mhm.
All right. So there are examples of that. Like, but Dave Filoni sucks, and apparently he doesn't read the EU. So he already threatened to because people keep asking him about Mara Jade. He's already threatened that at some point he's thinking about using her after people get tired of Thrawn.
Oh,
It was
great.
like, great. I know the characters that everyone loves that you get to screw up. So
Oh no, that is
put the hand
true.
out.
Yeah.
Uh, So she puts the hand out, the whole entire wall shakes, and it's because of this. All right. Now, this is the entrance of Thrawn. So his big ship flies over. You go into the ship. His okay. This is what I mean by he does not understand Thrawn. All right. He doesn't understand Thrawn, and he doesn't understand how to make someone imposing. If you're stranded on another planet, right? You're in another galaxy for 10 years. Okay. I get what he's trying to say that they're just scraping together, and that's why everybody's uniforms is dirty and all this other stuff because they don't have any the the fundage and whatever to maintain that like their uniforms.
Right.
From what I was thinking is like if you wanted to make Thrawn intimidating, you basically have them come out of hyperspace, right? So they can still have the whalebone rings or whatever. There's a bunch of like if this is supposedly where he's like one of the places that he goes to, you can have a bunch of ships in orbit around the planet, and some alien that we've never seen before, uh, like ask them who they are and why they're here. She gives her name, and the guy goes, "Oh, the Night Sisters were expecting you." And you go, "What the hell?" Right? Like, how would he know that she was supposed to be there? Right? So then you say something about mysticism or whatever. They land. They have a conversation with the sisters. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you were ordained to come today or whatever." And we have been telling Thrawn that you're gonna be coming, so he should be here shortly because we've already told him that you were supposed to be here, like whatever, right? So then you could do the whole thing. Sabine's in prison, wall shake, blah blah blah. You go back up, like you go back up, Not only is it his ship that only has some battle damage, but but it still looks battle worthy. Completely surrounded by other ships of a new design that you've never seen before in Star Wars. Okay, you come to this scene, all the uniforms, everybody is in pristine condition. Let me say, he's been on this planet like in the galaxy for 10 years, and they still
Mhm.
maintain their discipline. The ship still looks is battle worthy and all this other stuff, right?
Right.
And interspersed in there are other like those same aliens you saw before. So now, like, so that means that when he came to the, he conquered a bunch of planets and he did all this other stuff.
Oh,
It's like who,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
So then when he comes down, like, see how he's dumpy? Look at that. He got a pot belly. He got a pot belly. He's leaning forward. He looks out of shape. He just looks like an old man. The dude that comes down the thing is in shape, right? Outfit is pristine, in shape, right? He has two giant freaking like whatever standing next to him, so they look intimidating. And because they're following him, and he's smaller than them, that makes him look more intimidating,
Oh, yeah, right.
right? So he walks up, and then they can do the whole. They still yell Thrawn and all that dumb shit. Then you got everybody yelling, and he just stopped. And as soon as he about to like, he stops moving. So as soon as he stops moving, everybody else stops moving. Everybody's quiet.
Stops.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so when he walks and then he just stops. As soon as he stops moving, everybody
Everyone
behind him stops
stops.
and shuts up.
Yeah.
Yeah, until he speaks. And
That would
then
have
he
been a good
speaks.
way. That would have been a good way.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That to that when you're watching this, like, who, like, what the hell? Like, who is this dude? That is how that character was created in a novel. That's who Thrawn was. He would
Okay.
have conquered. He would have had an entire fleet. Like he just the only thing that he couldn't do was go back to his galaxy. That's it.
I see.
Yeah, because it's been 10 years. And if you really want, because I've heard other people say stuff, if you really wanted to throw a monkey wrench in it, this is where you meet Ezra.
Oh, okay. And he's like being held captive
Yeah,
or
so Ezra's
something.
like with
Yeah.
him, and then Sabine is
Yeah.
like, "What? Like, why are you still?"
Right.
No,
Yeah.
no, just standing next to him. So then he's like, "All right, so why is Ezra still with him after 10 years? Like,
Mhm.
what's going on?"
Yeah. Wow, that would have been
Right?
a nice. That would have been interesting.
Yeah, yes, it would have been way more interesting than pot belly Thrawn with the ratty clothes and whatever the heck this dude is.
Enoch. That's his name.
No, just because you don't even know it, like if he's like the other dudes, just filled with green fart, right? So
Yeah.
another pointless, stupid conversation. Hey, look, his clothes is dirty, and I'm like, dude, this dude was meticulous. He would never let himself be seen like this. He just like he got a beggar. It's just like what the. It's like so he talk, more talking. Talk to Sabine. Okay, she is basically one of the people who is responsible for him being stuck here. They have a nice little conversation.
Oh, is that how it happened? Like in the Clone
Pretty
Wars?
much, like, well, yeah, it's just basically it's like I'm going off of here's like hearsay kind of thing, but as far
Hmm.
as I know, is that little group with the Ezra sacrifice
Ezra. Yeah.
is the reason why he's stranded in the other galaxy. Is
Oh,
through everybody's actions, right?
I see. Okay.
Right. So he is very cordial to a person who had him stranded in another galaxy for 10 damn years.
That's a good way to welcome a guest. Especially one that has wronged you.
Well, I mean, like Thrawn, to be perfectly honest, Thrawn is not a person who would do the revenge thing. But it's like I don't know. It's like if you want to show him as being has changed through his because of what has happened in the last decade. That's one way you can do it, where he gets a little angry about stuff or whatever. That's one way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could do the calm and collected. No, it's just what he shouldn't do is just release her to go look for Ezra. But it's more talking. So we are 20 minutes into this episode. We met Potbelly Thrawn. They let her go, tell her what Ezra is, why Ezra is still alive. Don't know why, like what's going on with that. I don't know. They have 2 episodes left. Yeah. So hops on the dog, goes on. Then Thrawn, she's out in the Scottish countryside because that's basically what it looks like. Da-da-da. She gets into a fight with some folks. Someone have liking them to the Sand People. Just like a hey, do you remember some stuff like this from the original Star Wars kind of thing?
Harken back to those days.
She's right. So they start out shooting at her, and then when her droid runs away, when I forgot what happens with her guns, but she's disarmed. She brings out her lightsaber. So instead of trying to shoot her, which you could easily do because she does not have the Force, and Jedi use the lightsaber to deflect bolts because they can predict where they're going to be at. All right. Mm-hmm. And they can move quick enough to get their blade where it's going to be. All right. So she can't do none of that stuff.
Right.
So the guys behind her can just shoot her in the back of the head.
But they decided to be nice.
And attack her one-on-one.
Attack her one-on-one, one by one.
Right. So, there's very accommodating bad guys. Who these people are, not a clue. Like nothing. I have no idea who the hell these people are. So fight starts. He lets these two now. Before Sabine left, he told her we're leaving in 3 days because they gotta stay. It's gonna take them 3 days to return because reasons. I have no I guess they gotta recalibrate or something. Why it's gonna take 3 days? I don't know. So if you know that this guy who you are betting on helping you overthrow the break the wheel is gonna leave in 3 days, why would you go out and to go after these people like Sabine when you already had her? You already had her, and Thrawn knew where Ezra was in general, and Thrawn has ships. So they can just go look for him while you stay on the ship. I'm like, dude, I ain't going nowhere, man. It's like you about to leave in 3 days. What what if the dog gets hurt or something happens or some weird animal does something and I gotta walk back here? Walk back here enough to watch your ass leave me here. But whatever, right? So the whatever this dude is, he's having a conversation about you're gonna leave, blah blah blah. Tells her don't someone says that there's a ship coming, I think, or something like that, and it's it could be Ahsoka, but she's dead. Never underestimate a Jedi. And then someone I saw brought up the fact that that's exactly what he's doing right now. Is he's underestimating Ezra. It's you literally doing the thing that you warning her against. But whatever. So Potbelly Thrawn is just walking around. Now Sabine is walking. She has lost the means to track Ezra, and her puppy dog Mount ran away. Now he's trying to get back in her good graces. She's trying to leave me alone. Blah blah blah. This is a cartoon sequence. This is not a real like a real thing.
Just call her the animal whisperer.
Something. So it's hey, it looks like a dog, so that it acts like a dog, even though we're in a different galaxy on a different planet. and this thing still acts like a dog.
It
Because
does.
don't you like dogs? Yeah, don't you like dogs? Okay, she has a conversation with the thing. He's he smells something or something. They go to a spot, and this little Krusty the Krab thing. And go a little further back. It's like this happens to be there. You're like, okay, it's in an indigenous life form who was hiding in the grotto that the wolf dog bat whatever the hell this thing is supposed to be went to because it was thirsty. So they start a little conversation. He recognizes her.
How very lucky she was.
Oh yeah, he
They
recognizes
were.
the fact that she has a rebel symbol on her armor. Good thing that she decided to wear that particular armor. Good thing that it wasn't covered. Right.
Right. Well, there's a lot of things that that turned out right.
Okay. Somehow they're.
Oh, that's true.
Keep in mind the sun hasn't gone down yet.
Yeah, because I don't think they can speak English, so yeah, she wasn't
No.
she wasn't wearing that uniform
No.
with the rebel badge.
Yeah.
I didn't think about
why
that.
Yeah, why is he dressed like Han Solo? I don't know. Keep in mind the sun has not gone down yet. So this is the same like the light looks like it's about the same. So it is what 4 or 5 hours, maybe 6 after she left Thrawn. 6, 7 hours or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Right. So in 6 hours, and especially after losing her only means of tracking Ezra, a dog who she was trying to get rid of, it comes back. She rides on the dog, and the dog decides that it's thirsty and decides to go to this nearest grotto to drink some water. Right. So it's like, so I'm sitting there looking at this like,
on a galaxy
on a planet. Right. So I'm like, are you serious? Are you seriously gonna do this? I was like, they're seriously gonna do this. Like, wow, that is terrible. That is horrible writing. That is the most cool.
She didn't even have to travel far with her dog.
No, it's still daylight. And it's like, this is terrible. This is the kind of writing that I would expect my like my 11-year-old godson. It's like, and then this happens, and then this happens, and then how did it happen? It don't matter. And then this happens, and then this happens. It's like, what the hell, dude? Like, what kind of 12-year-old friggin'?
It did seem
very like, all right, whatever.
Off the cuff, like the convenience.
Very convenient.
Very convenient. Very off the cuff.
Yeah. So she meets up with the rest of the Krusty Krab crew.
Krusty Krab. Oh my gosh.
It is kind of chilling. Again, different species, different planet, different galaxy. But she's able to get through her body like gestures and all that and understanding. How? How? So is life familiar everywhere? It's like life is the same no matter what galaxy or planet that you're on. Okay, sure. Right. Like whatever, right? So she's talking with the Krusty Krab crew, still talking. They go to they decide to take her with them. They don't know. I'm like, okay, so she could have just found that armor. It could be a lot of stuff, but they did trust her. Like, sure, okay, all right. So they're just gonna trust her and bring her back to our village, even though this should have almost no way of communicating with each other. It's like,
and they seem pretty defenseless from what I could see.
Right. So, okay, all right, whatever. So they find now. Okay. How much time do you think took place between when Thrawn told them to leave after he let Ezra let her go. Maybe another
Uh,
hour. Hmm?
yeah, or
About an
maybe
hour.
we'll say 2 hours.
All right, so they're 2 hours behind her. They find this group of people
The bandits.
2 hours behind her. She is not that far ahead of them. Yes, the bandit camp. Still, lighting has not changed in iota. So it's still the same day. Blah blah blah. Yada yada yada. Talkie. Now we got some more sand troopers or whatever the hell these things are. They're dressed like samurai for some reason. Like I don't know why.
Uh,
And they're on their puppies. Now, I think that shot is. Hey, do you remember Star Wars and when Luke was running, blah blah, and the sand people were on the hill looking at him?
all right.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a little homage to that.
homage,
Right.
stealing, and
Lazy writing.
it depends on the person whether or not it's an homage or stealing. Okay, so they got the little defenseless bug village of the
Krusty
crab,
Krab.
crusty crab guys
Uh,
in an open valley, in the valley with his heels. It's like, all right, bro. Like okay. So they got baby crusty crabs.
I thought that was touching. Baby Krusty Krab.
And she's asking about Ezra, how they would have any idea. I don't know. Maybe he could. Maybe they know by what his name. So I will give them that. That
That's true because he's able to
yeah,
speak their language.
yeah. So I guess at
So
some point he said that my name is Ezra.
right.
So she's getting frustrated, and there's Ezra looking like Jesus. All right. Okay, we still got the crab folks. I don't know. Oh, there's Ezra. Uh, now she has been wanting to see him for 10 years. Like all her actions and all that stuff are uh kind of stilted because of her missing, I guess, in their relationship, like her brother or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So when they meet each other, it's kind of like they kind of meet each other like how you and I meet each other when I come back to work on Wednesday. Like I haven't seen you in a couple of days. What's up, Elton? How you doing, man?
Hey,
Like, hey, I'm
how you
quite sure
doing?
if I left town and I came back and you were still somehow working over there and I came back to visit in 10 years, you'd probably be a little bit more
a little bit more jubilant.
about seeing me again.
Just a little bit. They're
But
just
I just
beaming
left
and
town.
grinning
He's in another right.
with energy.
Right. So like, okay, hey, how you doing? How's it been? He's like, yeah, hey, we can go. And it's like she's like, yeah, about that. It's like, yeah, you know how you sacrifice yourself to bring Thrawn here and all that stuff. Yeah, it's for naught. So that is going to be an interesting conversation.
my
Hey, but
my biggest thing too, because how has Thrawn not been able to find him in all these,
no, he
you
knows
know?
where he's at.
Oh, he knows where he's at. Okay.
They move around a lot, I guess. Yeah, they know his last. That's why they gave her the thing because they know he
Oh,
knows where
right,
his last known
the
coordinates
tracker.
were.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. And they're in metal, like in a metal village in the middle of the thing that apparently has some kind of means of transportation. I didn't see any animals, so I don't know, maybe they take off. That's, you got ships with radar, you have a giant freaking ship with radar. It's like, okay. Yeah, Night Sisters. Oh, somebody's coming. It's Ahsoka. Blah blah blah. Yeah, and that's it. He just like they're getting ready to go. We're gonna like on to the next one. So is there?
That was the episode. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so all right. How was that? How did you feel after watching that?
Well, I'm excited that we got to meet Thrawn.
Mm-hmm.
Introduction to himself could have been a little bit more better, and it was an episode
Okay.
filled
Yeah.
with conveniences. That's for sure.
Yeah. Dave Filoni sucks as a writer, and you can kind of tell of the Mandoverse that they're trying to create when Jon Favreau had nothing to do with the episodes. Because the first season of Mando, great, and he was gonna have this whole thing, and he had this thing mapped out, and then when it became popular, Kennedy showed up and screwed every damn thing up, and kind of pushed Dave Filoni in the driver's seat, which pissed off Favreau. And it's like the for Boba Fett, the guy who plays Boba Fett, basically was saying how Favreau was kind of checked out when it came to that series. It's probably why it wasn't that good. It's probably like a lot of Dave Filoni. So I don't know. Boy. So for me, Dave Filoni sucks. This is basically.
I think this episode definitely showed, as you said at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does have some.
All right, so
issues that he can improve on in terms of writing.
Yes,
yeah, big time.
All right, so the thing that popped into my head when the episode went off was, thank God there's only 2 more left, because I don't know if I could do. it's gonna be kind of hard to do. I don't know, but if you want to watch something that's good besides One Piece, and if you can find these, I think they should be on Disney Plus. Let me share this. This right here is the Clone Wars that came out during the prequel era, like the prequels. So this came out in between the second episode and the third episode, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So it was like a series of shorts. This is the original Clone Wars, right? This dude is a Jedi. This is water.
That's cool.
He has used the Force to turn into hard water, and he chucks it at ships, like submarines underneath ships.
That's pretty cool.
It is action packed. Each the first so this is I'm not sure when you saw her for the first time, but I know this is when I first saw her for the first time, and she becomes Dooku's apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like a fallen Jedi. So he trains her. So you get to see how badass as he is and why he's like a threat kind of thing. You got Obi-Wan Kenobi. You got so it's action packed if you can find it. But
that looks pretty dope.
It is. So it's just this thing is Star Wars. Like they keep saying, like for other people keep saying Star Wars is dead. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of hard for me to not agree with that.
And that's a tough pill to swallow too. You know, it's hard to say because it really is. It's a really beloved franchise.
Mm-hmm. All right, so it is what it is, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So the next thing that I wanted to talk about was, and I gotta cue the theme music. All right. George R. Martin among 17 top authors suing OpenAI, alleging ChatGPT steals their works. We are here to fight. Nah, do
Interesting.
you remember what I was telling you before about no, you remember what I was telling you before about how the it's not artificial intelligence. It's just like a very it's a very good search engine. It's a very competent program that combines like different things together in order
Hmm.
to create something that's the facade of being new, but it's not new, right?
Oh yeah, you did mention that before.
All right. So, all right. So, OpenAI ChatGPT is the target of a major new lawsuit alleging that the company illegally copied copyrighted works of authors to train the artificial intelligence robot. Yeah, I mean, basically, yeah, is they take it takes the parts of the internet, right, and they feed it stuff like in order for it to like say to make you like singers that sound like others, like sound like a particular singer. They basically put a lot of that singer's works like into the program, and then it gets their mannerisms and all that stuff, right? And it sees the tone of how they do like their music. You ever notice like when somebody that you like and they do something that's kind of off the cuff kind of music and it doesn't sound like them kind of thing?
Yeah, same idea.
All right. So, right. So, what I mean is, in terms of you have listened to enough of their stuff where you kind of have an idea of what kind of music they would make ish and that kind of thing, right? So that's basically how you accumulate that by listening to a lot of stuff. That is how that works for these the computer program. So it's the same thing when it comes to like writing. So if you want to be able to write like I want George R. Martin setting with a John Grisham novel kind of thing, right? So it's like okay, George R. Martin does this type of settings in most of his books, and it has a certain flavor to how he represents the setting. John Grisham is law, so it's a fantasy law firm in the middle of of like a medieval town or something like that. So it would be a barrister instead of a
Mhm.
lawyer.
Okay.
So so it's a lawsuit filed September 19th in the U.S. Seeks an injunction blocking OpenAI from continuing to use authors' works to train ChatGPT, as well as unspecific monetary damage. The statutory damage is up to 150,000 per infringement work. A copy of the complaint is available. Spokesperson for blah 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 said that we are having productive conversations with many creators around the world, including the Authors Guild, and have been working cooperatively to understand and discuss their concerns about AI. We're optimistic and we will continue to find mutual beneficial ways to work together. You're not working together, you're stealing their shit. That's what it is. You're creating a
Yeah,
program that is eventually will replace them.
I'm with the writers on this
So
one.
like you're looking at it from your point of view where like right. And it's like
Yeah.
do you remember like I played for hold on, see if I can find this. Hold on. Tupac, Tupac AI. I'll play this a little bit. All right. No, but like I don't know if a lot of people truly understand where this is heading. All right, so I'm gonna share this instead. Okay, so this is a new song by Tupac featuring Nate Dogg. All right. My nigga Nate Dogg. Shit. Let's do this. For everyone that you love. All right, that is what they're worried about. All right, that's a new song by two people who've been dead for a long time.
I would be
It
worried
sounds
too.
like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds exactly like them. Same mannerisms, same everything. Again, you are making something that's going to be able to finish the book. Like he like everybody's worried that he's not going to be able to finish those Game of Thrones books.
That'll still be alive, yeah.
Yes. No, but at this point, after you have Chat GPT
Finish it.
create the end of the
God.
story. Yeah, just finish it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no. It's like, what the hell, dude? It's like, but this is one of those things where the genie is out of the bottle. That
They
song I
really
just played. Good.
I was saying I hope they really don't I do hope that they're successful in this
I don't know
their
how they are.
in
I
their
like
lawsuit.
you may be able to do something kind of to hit them a little bit, but dude, this is we're past like the point where there is pretty much anything that you can do about this shit. Because that song sounds like a damn Tupac song that came out in the 90s.
It
It sounds
does.
like like a song that someone found on a tape someplace in some studio that they worked on that nobody's ever heard before.
Seeing it kind of begs the question. It's like, why not just listen to their music, the one that they actually made before?
No, you always you consume all the stuff. So a lot of people are getting into older music because it's even though like the stuff that is they're talking about is dated because it came out in the 70s or whatever. It's still good music. All right. I have basically all of Prince's albums. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
he
cool.
started no, oh, yeah. He started making music in the 70s. In the 70s, he sounds like Prince. He sounds like what Prince sounds like. It's just that it's the 70s. He sounds exactly the same in the like 80s. You just throw in 80s like equipment, that kind of thing. Same thing with the 90s. He adjusted himself, excuse me, to fit in to the 90s, but he still sounds like Prince. So it's like 20 years of stuff. And if you're a fan of that, you would love to have new stuff because you can listen to the old stuff and still have new stuff. Now we'll be able to have new stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, you have like freaking Tupac talking crash about Biden or Trump, right? Just like when
Right.
he was going at George Bush, he'll be going after whatever. So it's like I don't know how they can stop them from doing that, but I think the genie is out of the yeah, it's already out.
It's already out.
Yeah, so it's like
And then that ChatGPT thing, is that like one of those things that like it's public, like anyone can just,
yes.
oh
Hmm.
wow. Yeah, that is a
They got schools who are trying to ban it because it is you can
obviously for homework
yeah
and cheating.
right. So you can
Yeah.
kind of tell we're still at the point where you can kind of tell it a bit, but we're quickly heading to when you will not be able to. So this is trying to get ahead of that. And like I'm not 100% sure if you can because it looked like Sarah Silverman and some other ones uh, are like yeah they're using yeah. It's like I don't know how you stop it though. It's like you said they're illegally using, but what does that mean? It's like are they having it read it? Do you want them to not read it? It's public.
I think this also should ask the question like, oh, how far are we willing to go with AI?
It's not about and I've had this conversation with other people before. It is not about what you're comfortable with. It is what a 15 it is what my nephew and my godson and all them are comfortable with.
Comfortable with.
Their entire world, yeah, it's their entire world is on demand stuff.
Right.
He go like he is basically getting to the how much I think he's watched of most of The Simpsons. He just consume, move on to the next thing. Consume, move on to the next thing.
Move on to yeah.
But consume so is like, yeah, you can I can explain to him, oh no, you can look at stuff again and again and blah blah blah, this, that, and the other, and it's like
It's like, no, on to the next thing.
you learn like you, no, it's just he won't understand what nostalgia means. I could try to explain to him what nostalgia is. He won't have any clue because anything that he has ever looked at in his entire life, he can look at
You
again.
can look at yeah, that's I didn't think
Dude,
about it
like,
that way. Yeah.
yeah, it's like I remember when VH1 did remember the 80s, remember the 70s or whatever. Dude, there was commercials that I have not seen in 30 years. It's like, oh, and I remember when I saw this, I was this age and blah blah blah. I remember watching monster shows and Star Trek on like regular TV and all this stuff. And it was like it was just a feeling that he's never going to experience.
That's a crazy thought, yeah.
Because I
I
couldn't
I
watch none
I
of that stuff.
I'm,
Yeah.
I am younger than you, Siobhan, but, even for my
Mhm.
generation, I don't know, what am I, X or whatever I am,
Mm.
but even for us, even for my friends and I,
Mhm.
and, my brother and sister, yeah, we went through that too.
Mhm.
We can still, reminisce, we can still nostalgia, as you said.
Mhm.
Yeah,
His
and
first TV was a 4K television.
no, and that is something I didn't think about, like, the kids growing up nowadays. I don't know if
Mhm.
they with everything available, like, readily and at your fingertips, yeah, I think that does kinda take away from nostalgia.
Mhm. And
That's great.
this is
That's a
just
crazy thought.
yeah, and this is just a natural offshoot of that, where whatever
Right.
the hell he would like to think about this thing at some point in the future, maybe when he's in his 20s, yeah, it'll just poop it out for him. Whatever the hell he like, I don't know. Like I want to watch Quentin Tarantino's Star Trek starring Sylvester Stallone.
Gosh. Uh,
Yeah, and that's basically what's gonna happen. So I'm like, yeah, you see all these people, yes, they have a point. It's like this case is merely the beginning of our battle to defend authors from theft by open AI and other generative AI. Our staff, which includes forming a legal team, has expertise in copyright law. This is all to say we do not bring this suit lightly. We are here to fight. Fight what? What are you fighting? You're fighting you're standing at a dam and you're poking your fingers in holes that are coming through the dam. It's like if you would have did this when this shit first started, maybe, maybe, because I think after a while it's probably they up to what it's like they were downloaded from a pirate book ebook repositories and copied into the fabric GPT 3.5 and 4, which power blah 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 1000. These are like okay, edited and published books are all right. So is this what you're going with? That they use pirated books to do it? They can just buy the books. But like, how do you stop? Like, do you want them to not do this?
it's already
How-
out there.
right. So if you would have been paying attention when this was in its infancy, maybe. But we're past toddlers. We're going into 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds now. It's like it has a general idea how you write stuff. Recent attempt to generate volume 6. See,
There
the
you go.
org cited a recent attempt to generate volume 6 and 7 of series Song on Fire, numerous AI generated books that have been posted on Amazon that attempt to pass themselves off as human generated and seek to profit off of human authors' hard-earned reputation.
That's tough.
I'm like, bruh, it's the The internet, dude. It's like, okay, you stop it from getting on Amazon. Okay. They want you to write this book. You're not writing this book. It's gonna get out. I, if there's a good ending to the story, I think most people probably won't care. It like at the end of the day, it is what it is. And yeah, it's just all right. Author George Sanders said in a statement provided by the Authors Guild, I am very happy to be a part of this effort to nudge the tech world to make good on its frequent declarations that it is on the side of creativity. Writers should be fairly compensated for their work. Fair compensation means that a person's work is valued, plain and simple. This in turn tells the culture what to think of that work and the people who do it, and the work of the writer, the human imagination, struggling reality, discern. It's like, no, all of that sounds very nice. Sounds very nice. It's not reality. It's just not. It like it's like, bro. I'm quite sure Tupac's mom would not like them to be producing new Tupac songs.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'm quite sure that Nintendo would not like people to have like volumes and volumes of old ROMs of their games.
Their IPs, yeah.
You don't provide this stuff. It's like you're your own, like you're operating in a world that doesn't exist anymore. I'm sorry. It sucks. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. But I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, that's tough, especially for me as a Game of Thrones fan.
Mm-hmm. Dude, if this dude dies, then what? Wouldn't you like to have ending to the story?
Man, it'd probably be more satisfying.
Basically,
but...
in his language, how he would talk, how he would. Yeah, it's like someone brings it to you 10 years from now. All right, one of your kids finds it on the internet. Ooh, look what I found.
That would be hard for me to accept.
Yeah, but who knows where your head will be in 10 years?
True.
Yeah. So I don't know, dude. It sucks because yeah, it's these things are not creative. They're
just
like they're not creating anything new. They're just
regurgitating,
squishing everything together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be a good thing in the end or a bad thing in the end. I don't know, but this is going to be a thing. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I can agree with you on that.
Okie dokie. All right. So to end the show, we're gonna do the our a 10 list. So we need to talk about the 12 best slow motion scenes in movies, or 10 terrible movie endings that leave a bad taste. Which one you want to talk about?
The latter.
The terrible movie endings?
Yeah.
What? Okay. All right. So let me share this. All right. 10 terrible. Dun dun dun. All right, 10 terrible movie endings that leave a bad taste. From The Rise of Skywalker to Don't Worry, Darling. Here are 10 terrible movie endings that did not work and arguably ruined the entire film. That word got stuck. What the hell? All right, bad movie endings can ruin an entire movie. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. All right, so number 10, The Rise of Skywalker. What do they think is the bad part ending? That whole movie sucked. Like, what the hell? Okay, let's see. Got more controversial with each installment. Yeah, you think? Felt like a relatively safe bet, knocking off a New Hope story structure, but also introducing interesting new ideas. The Last Jedi killed the destroyed Star Wars as we know it, divided the fan base. with far more division. Yeah, yeah. Then reaction to the division, the rounds completely collapsed. Pinnacle of this. All right. So what do they think is the bad part? Ray finds herself back on Tatooine, and
No,
Ray
when she
Skywalker leaving a
Skywalker
terrible. Dude, the entire movie left like that.
left a terrible taste.
That's like having a fly on shit. It's just like, oh, it's still shit. It doesn't matter that there's a fly on it.
Nice analogy.
No. Like
I haven't
no.
heard that one before. I wonder if I watched any of these movies.
All right, James Mango's direct the James like I don't know the one of the last lists. We ain't watched none of that shit. It's like all right, 10 people staying in a motel. Okay, how did this end? All events of the film are revealed to be in someone's head, an idea that's considered to
Oh
be a
wow,
common thriller cliche. Wow. Okay.
that is kind of a cop out. Like, oh, it's all an imagination.
All right. 2012 horror film, The Devil Inside. Got a 6% on the Rotten Tomatoes. Awesome. How did this end? The ending was imperfect, cherry on top. Oh, found footage. Oh, awesome.
What?
I am glad that genre died. Oh my god. The film cuts to black, leaving the audience without any sort of climax. Wow. It reveals a text card with a website link for viewers to check out to learn more. That is when you stand up and you go, fuck you. And you walk out of the World War Z. I've seen this once. I thought it was stupid. How did this? I don't remember how it ended though. World War
World War
Z's original
Z.
ending didn't
I
do.
watched this one too.
Yeah,
I forgot how it ended.
yeah. That just shows you how interesting it was. Not. Compared to the story of the book, I didn't. The film spent money to change changes, resulting in far more hopeful ending. Is nothing like the source material and doesn't work with the rest of the movie. That does not tell me how it ended. Okay, you can at least tell me how the hell the damn movie ended.
Because I forgot.
Fantastic Beasts. I don't think I saw this. I think I saw the first one.
First one, yeah.
Yeah, it's just okay. Solid. Both. Okay. The wedding between Queenie and Jacob at the end is what really did not work. Queenie had mind controlled Jacob for months, and also had been supporting Grindel for most of the film, making their wedding hard to watch.
Okay.
Wow. So basically, she forced this dude to marry her. Imagine if this was a dude doing this to a female. Oh my god.
And you would think that would be a great way to end a movie.
No. Wow. Okay, Serenity. I don't think I've seen this. The film follows a character named Baker who saw the
2019. I don't remember it.
Yeah, written by
The end twist ends up being that Baker is actually a character in a video game designed by his son, in which his father returns from war to kill the awful man his mother married. Okay.
Okay. Don't worry, darling. Oh, I did not see this, but the controversy with the fact that she was banging, she left her marriage to bang this dude, and then in the end, they didn't. Everybody hated each other. Okay, has an interesting premise and a twist. There's potential, but does not pull it off properly. The concept left audience with too many questions about plot holes and the problems on the script. It ends vaguely and abruptly. I'm like, okay, again, not telling me how it ended.
I know. I am legend.
Okay. Yeah, it ended with her leaving and going to deliver the medicine. While it may seem the hero sacrificed himself in order to protect the two characters he met in the film. While it may seem heroic, the issue is that it was entirely unnecessary. There were two better ending choices that could have used instead: the alternate film ending or the widely praised book ending. I know he comes to the realization in the book that he's the bad guy.
Ah.
Yeah, because he is trying basically with if I understand this correctly,
Uh-huh.
he is attempting to cure the world of this particular thing, but there are so
Right.
many of these creatures
Uh-huh.
that the world is theirs now.
Oh, okay.
So he is kidnapping people in order to experiment on them, in order to find a cure for them. But
Ah. That's the book ending.
that's just how like they're like that now. They're just
Yeah.
like a whole. So he's their boogeyman. Yeah,
Right, right.
yeah. So I am Legend. He's their boogeyman.
Oh.
So they're coming back to get their family members and whatnot that he's kidnapping.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No, I actually like that
yeah.
ending.
I'm not. Yeah, it's just like uh, it's an old book, and I think I should probably like read it so I can fully understand it.
I
The
didn't know it
M
was
not.
based off a book.
Yeah.
This is news to me.
Yeah. Who did it first? Um. God damn it! I hate being old. Original Bond. Um.
Sean
What's
Connery?
there? You go. I think he did a version of it a long time ago.
Oh, no way.
All right, M Night Shyamalan movies are known for the build-ups towards incredible and The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable, which led to a total collapse in the thing. The entire film was criticized as wonky pacing. But the ending caps it off. The happening that caused the events of the film just abruptly stops and things go back to normal. While there appears to be some metaphor in the film for mass hysteria, the far-fetched way it fits together doesn't sell the idea. Hmm. That would probably hit a bit more if I actually watched that movie. But I could his
Same.
acting, the clips of his acting in there is just terrible. Now you see me.
Oh,
Oh,
I've seen this one.
I actually enjoyed this.
Yeah,
So
same.
what did they say was wrong with this? Isn't the most serious movie ever? It's about magicians who rob banks after da. Okay. All right. So how did it end? The ending of the film sees Mark Ruffalo's character Dylan Rhodes, an FBI agent who spent the whole film attempting to catch the four horsemen, be revealed as the mastermind musician who made the whole scheme happen. The movie end felt
Oh,
entirely
yeah,
unearned.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I like
enjoyed the
the ending.
film, but it was kind of
Me,
like, yeah,
I didn't watch this.
I
There
don't
was a
know.
second one, right?
Yeah.
I didn't watch that one,
So,
but I did like the first. I did
yeah.
like that movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So you sound like me, how you liked it, but not enough to really watch the second one. So,
Yeah.
all right. So that is the ending of the show for today. Any don't eat a lot of food before you go online. You'll be burping and coughing a lot. Kind of
Thank you,
disgusting.
our
So
thank you to our strong fan base of the Unruly Nation. Tried and true.
well, tried and true, huh? Oh yeah. It's one of
Oh,
these
and
things
I
you
hope
gotta
you guys like our new channel name, Pop
yeah.
Culture Gaming and Culture TV.
Yeah. All right. So are you all geared up for work tomorrow?
I'm off.
Oh, you are?
Yeah,
Okay.
Sunday and Monday.
Oh, all right. So you're gonna enjoy your rest then.
I will.
Oh, all right. Well, I am off as well. So
I'm gonna watch
for those who check this out later, what?
more One Piece probably and Black Mirror.
Okay. One
Probably
Piece is
just
very good.
probably do some organizing too.
Well, you got to get the taste of Ahsoka off of your mind before you have to watch the next one. Did you watch Loki?
No, no, I did not.
All right. There's some aspects of it where it's kind of hard to figure out like why stuff is happening to a degree. Nerdrotic and the rest of those guys, they had like huge problems with it. There's a lot of stuff that they saw that I didn't see. Because
Okay.
like they had the same thing about like Sabine and Ahsoka. They see some weird kind of sexual history between
Yeah,
like which I do not see, and it's very weird that they see that.
that they see
But
that.
yeah, I mean to me it's weird. But that people interpret stuff how they interpret it.
Right. I
So
didn't see it either between Ahsoka and Sabine.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing that like when you listen to them talk, the thing that they get the most upset about is that all the lessons that Loki learns are the lessons that he learned already. And my thing is like, dude, this story is from the viewpoint of the Loki who has not learned any of that stuff yet. So
Oh.
when they said that he's trying to figure himself out, he is
Mhm.
trying to figure himself out based on the story that they're telling.
I
So
see.
right, so being upset that they're not adhering to the story that you either think they should be telling or you think that they're it's like that's not what they're trying to tell. So the person who is the catalyst for the show is the Loki that he's chasing. So in that sense, they are correct about that. But she is not the star of the show. He is. She's just kind of like the thing that pushes the story along because he's it's a chase. It's like a chase thing. They're chasing her, and so it's like stuff that you should check it out. And whenever you got it like on a time, it's like 6 or 8 episodes. I can't remember which one.
Okay.
Yeah, so especially because the second season is coming out and it's looking like Jonathan Majors is innocent, so he's gonna stay on his cane.
Wow.
Yeah, some footage came out where supposedly, like she said that he broke her hand and this, that, and the other. And this footage an hour later, after she said that all this happened, where she's playing with her hair, playing with her phone, having a conversation with other people, and he walks past, ignoring her. So she doesn't act like a person who just got beat up by her boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So hence
Alright.
the reason why she fled the country.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I didn't know that happened.
Right. So you're probably gonna whenever this gets wrapped up or whatever, but you know how public opinion is. It doesn't matter what actually happened.
Right.
People people believe what they believe.
Yeah,
So like
true.
it is what it is. So he's gonna be king. And so I found it's the best of all the Marvel stuff. That's not really saying a lot, but in terms of all of them, this is the best one.
Wow, that's a pretty strong statement. Alright.
Yeah,
Yeah.
certain things do not work. The thing that doesn't work is the body positive security lady, mostly because from what I can tell how the story goes, that part was probably written for a guy. And is for me for the reason my thinking for that is it's just the way that she says stuff and how she does stuff. She comes across as you know how you get the sergeant, like one of these kind of like the grizzled cop kind of thing. He's seen everything because he's on the street.
Oh, okay.
That kind of that is that's what I'm getting from her part, the stuff that she says. So I'm like,
I
all
see.
right. So she's the way that she's doing it, it doesn't come across as a grizzled person. She's just kind of a bitch. So it's just like, all right, okay. So this was written for a guy. So that's why I'm not really liking how this is going. It's no knock against her
Mhm.
because it's probably the direction she got and all that stuff. It's just like it's just certain parts that this was written for a guy, probably should have been done by a guy. Yeah, and it's like Owen Wilson plays the analyst guy who bumps head with the field agent person, like the old field agent guy.
Okay.
So their dynamic is supposed to work a certain way and it doesn't, just based off the fact that she's a female.
Oh. So I
But
could kinda see why it's kind of poorly written into that part then, for her.
yes.
Yeah.
So you can yeah, and it's the wokeness stuff where they just kind of pushed it in. And it's the same thing with Owen Wilson's boss. It's the same. It's that was probably written for a guy too. No, I mean I'm serious. It's like because that's what they seem to do a lot. Is they write these movies and they sex change and race change everybody, but they don't change how the character acts. So they just act. So it just comes across as kind of off. It's like
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
something's not right, and you can't really
Pinpoint why.
tell what it is.
Yeah.
So it's like after watching, I'm like, that, yeah, that exact. That's. I think that's what it is. So I don't know, but I do recommend you looking at it, and just keep in mind that this is not the Loki from the movies. This is this is the not the from the later movies. This is the Loki from the first movie.
You said he's like
He
trying to
found
discover himself.
yeah, so he finds out like he hasn't all the stuff all the stuff that happens to him that makes him change
Hmm.
gets shoved in his face in basically the beginning of the movie. I mean of the show. So he learns all this stuff that made him change. So he learns all that in this tiny window. So I'm like, okay, that would be interesting to see how different you would be if you learned all these things about yourself that caused a fundamental change in your personality. Right? But you learned it all in a week,
Yeah.
as opposed to like a couple of years. So you should check it out. But I think the Loki doesn't come out for another month or so. So you got time.
That's the second season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have you could probably get the cliff notes, but if you watch a lot of folks, just they may be a little salty about like it. So I don't know. So all right, this is supposed to be an ending, and I'm talking too damn much. So like, and subscribe and all that fun stuff. So talk to y'all later.
Deuces. Night, everybody.
Bye bye.